y'all feel like, because at the end of the day, do y'all feel like Vegas media outside of the people like ourselves who are doing it ourselves,
Right.
do you think that the Vegas media is giving the attention to the aspects of the hip hop scene that are less prevalent, like the little Dirks and stuff like that? They're giving all the attention to these big names, but they're not coming over here. Is this why certain things started up for y'all? Like this? The podcast, the lives, sitting with artists.
Yeah, well, I feel like as far as media goes, it's one of them things where it was a hole that needed to be filled.
Right.
It was a space. So it's like, even though we're not getting like national recognition on some of the artists that we have out here right now, we're building that up. I'm like, at some point in time, there before, Sway in the Morning was Sway in the Morning, he was swaying King Tech, and they had to build that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so I feel like we're in the stages of building that up. So who knows where we're at in 5 years? But right now, if we don't put the legwork in and we don't start shining the spotlight on the artists that we have out here right now, then who else is going to do it? I feel like somebody had to pick up that torch, and us as being in the media, us, you, Code 7, and some of the other ones, Lou, we picked up the torch and said, you know what? They deserve a voice,
And if the radio stations ain't gonna do it, we got to do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The radio stations right here in the city, and they ain't pushing it. So,
bro, I've been listening to 97.5 since I was a child.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ain't nothing new, ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like New York, their radio shit is a little bit different. Atlanta, their radio scene is a lot different. They play the fucking music.
They
more
play
for the culture.
They play the people that come from where they're from.
Right.
And I'm like, that's LA, that's New York, that's Atlanta. They all play with the people where they're from. Vegas is one of the places. I'm like, I know you said like you've been listening to 97 since you was a kid. Before there was a 97, they didn't play it. Mm-hmm. And now when it was just 88, 98.5, mm-hmm. they didn't play it.
Right.
You know what I mean? 88 is a community station. Not the bad talk 88, because you know what I mean? Because that's 88.
They play everything though.
What does a community station mean?
A community station means like they're funded by the community. Mm. Like they're not they do a drive every year for donations to keep the station running. Whereas 98.5 is owned by a major corporation, like I think it's Channel One or Clear Channel, one of them type of companies. So I understand why they wouldn't play local music. I don't understand why 88 wouldn't play local music
when you
on a consistent.
Because you got the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're donating.
Yeah.
We should be able to, hear what we want to hear, right? I'm like, I understand, following the guidelines of, radio edits and, making sure that the DJ got a DJ pack, which is instrumentals, all that stuff. You know what I mean? You got to follow the guidelines. But once those guidelines are met, you should be more than happy to play our music that comes from homegrown Las Vegas.
Facts.
So that's my take on it.
How do y'all feel about the event scene out here? Like when it comes to putting on shows and artists actually coming in. Do you feel like, okay, because even the last couple shows that I've been to, I feel like they were good, but they were good because it was a conglomerate of different people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all the same. It wasn't... the Vic show at Sand Dollar. You get the Coco Jenkins first, and you get Vic. You got there was a couple other people. Wasteland and them was there, so it's like
a lot of groups.
Yeah, so
Lost Elements. It was Lost Elements, Lethal Reppin'. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of groups. Like you said, Trade Voorhees and Leroy Chops.
Yep.
There's a lot of people in the building, and I like that. I like that type of scene. But you know what I mean? It's still, I feel like it's still segregation.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? People say separate. Like the hip hop genres haven't meshed here. And, our goal, like even when we do our event, like the Combine, we try to put together, like I wanted to do Vic Smith and, Miles Lowe with Mouthpiece and West West type of deal. So like, those crowds mesh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crowds.
And those crowds, I'm like, even though...
I don't even think they thought of no shit like that.
And that's what I mean. That's what we do at the... as 5th Element, we feel like we represent hip-hop in its total. It don't matter if you're doing trap hip hop, if you're doing underground hip hop, if you're doing, some new wave, neo soul type of hip hop. It don't matter what you're doing. It's hip hop.
It's all under the umbrella.
Exactly. So I'm like, there shouldn't be no segregation. But we found that like these people don't really rock with these people. They don't make songs together. So with the Combine, part of it is trying to make sure that people like them get to mix with them and they have an appreciation for their music and they say like, you know what? Let's get in the studio and work on something. And then you never know what could happen out of that. That's what we, Fifth Element, that's just what we about. We like, yo, man, let's make the hip hop scene better.
Bro, I feel like a lot of us do kind of that same type deal because anytime I have an artist come in here, I pray that Quick is here.
Right.
Just so that way they can, you meeting a new artist, you meeting a new producer.
Right.
Tap them in together because I already feel like Quick is one of the best out here right now. So at the end of the day, if you got a chance to work with this man, you got a chance to meet him, just go ahead, chop it up with him real quick. You know what I'm saying? Pick his brain because there's a lot of knowledge in there. He's definitely on a trajectory.
Yeah,
and I want to see that shit for a lot of the artists out here, but I just feel like it's a they don't have that bond with like a producer or something. You know what I mean? They're not really together. They're bouncing around from person to person to person to person, and it's like, where's your sound? Where's the sound of Vegas? What is the sound of Vegas?
I would say like this. It's artists out here like take Connie P. Connie P's one of my favorites.
Okay.
I'm like, and I grown to love Connie P's music from seeing her perform and seeing her energy, and that's what got me going into her music like that. But I heard the growth, and the growth came from her finding Hitman as a producer,
right?
And they finding her sound,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's important for you to sit down with somebody who can find your sound. Then it makes it easier for you to go to other producers because you know what you're looking for. You know what you can describe to them, like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to tap into this kind of thing, but with your flavor. You know what I mean? So it's like you have, like, a lot of artists say, like, okay, I go on SoundCloud and got to find my beats. You never know what's going on. They're not working with you. You're not sitting in the studio. Y'all not building. He's not learning you. Exactly. You have to get that chemistry, and that's part of the problem. When I say when like what you said, when people not really knowing what their what Vegas sound is.
Yeah,
Vegas sound is authentic to whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
But then you got the Sodi camp. You got East God and them. They producing for their camp, right?
Yep.
You got Hitman. He's producing for like the Scalas, and you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So people, right?
So they're catching on. I ain't saying they ain't catching on, but I was just giving an example. Like Connie P was one of them people who I seen go from 0 to 100 on just being in that circle with Hitman. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I seen her growth. I seen how she's like each album is going up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, East Guy speaks for himself.
Right.
Like him and Rico is over there, pumping out classics.
Big culture camp.
Yeah,
Big
culture
together, pushing out, you know what I'm saying?
They and Taylor Weeze and all of them, they got their sound.
Nice too.
Right.
Yeah, they got their sound. And even Gas Station and all them, they got their sound.
Right.
Yep. Tay Bands and
Dizzy.
Yeah, all of them. They all Cyreek, all of them. They got they own sound that they got coming out of there. So it's they're I feel like they're starting to catch on to that. Like, we got to be in there and we got to have a chemistry to rock. We can't just don't just throw me a beat pack.
Facts.
You know what
Facts.
I mean? And now we just rapping. You know what I'm saying?
So when it comes to like at least you guys, I don't want to get too deep into anything. I just want to just surface level. When it comes to the chemistry on the pod, how are y'all working it with, the week to week? Because, you got to have a certain amount of coof with some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You got to know some people for real to really sit down, talk your shit, and then have those conversations, whether they turn into a debate or an argument and still be cool after.
Oh, man, these are my brothers, bro. I'm like, dude, I've been knowing these dudes for over 20 years each.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so any conversation, even if it is a spicy one, and next week it's like, yo, bro, what you doing?
Shit roll off your shoulder.
Next day,
next subject.
Next hour, we back at it. We like, yo.
Right. So before the show, like, we know what we're doing week to week.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're building through phone conversations, through IG chats, through lives with each other.
Right.
We might be arguing with each other, or you know what I'm saying, debating with each other, and then it just comes out on the show as good television.
All the debates are real. On there. There's no fabricated debate. So if you see me and him going back and forth about Eminem or whatever the fuck we're talking about,
that's some real shit.
That's just real. That conversation was had before and on the show.
Right? Yes. See, that's exactly how I feel. Like when my man Quick be up in here and he gets on the pod or whatever, we arguing back and forth. People think we hate each other for real, like in real life, because we argue that hard. But I mean, at the same time, I love him, man. Like it's just passion. It's like, okay, you stick by your word, I'm gonna stick by mine. But that's what I think that I love the most about him is because he's a man of his word. He's gonna stick by what the fuck he said.
Exactly.
You know, so when it comes to actually choosing the guests, though, like, what is the criteria for the artist? Because I know that for a majority of them, a lot of them spit at the end of the show. Do a freestyle.
99.9%.
Yeah. So when it comes to choosing the guests, we all sit down and we all agree on who we're gonna have on the show. But as far as the criteria, it's a lot of times it's like, you know, we might be feeling them. We might have seen them out and be like, oh man, that'll be a dope. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's just like, you know, we really be going off the feeling.
Yeah. But they gotta they gotta be working.
Yeah, you gotta be working.
They can't just have one song out.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You gotta. Yeah. I'm like, we love to see when you're investing in yourself. Like if you're going out and you putting in the social currency, and then people don't understand that. Like, yo, you got to be really outside. You know, being inside these circles, and you know, you want your name to be known, but then you tell everybody you an introvert. Well, this ain't the type of fucking game for that. Ain't no introvert in fame. You know, it don't matter what level of it. Hip hop, you know, R&B, you know, rock. Exactly.
Shout out Spitter P.
Yo, Spitter, hey, but you know, and I know Spitter,
the introvert out.
I know Spitter dropped the introvert out, but I've seen Spitter P at more shows than I've probably seen anybody at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he actually knows how to market himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what you should be doing. You should be always thinking, I gotta put myself in people's face. And like if you really trying to make it in this game, because once you get a certain level, what you think the record label's gonna do? They're gonna put you in everybody's face.
Exactly.
So you should be always looking to be in somebody's face. That's part of the game.
I think also we built a lot of relationships before having Fifth Element. So,
Absolutely.
Facts.
So there's veterans that we have on the show that we've already known and had a relationship. And then those veterans and people who can talk to other people can introduce us to the newer people who we may not be so familiar with on a personal level, and that's how it all meshes, because we put in the footwork, not knowing we're going to do a podcast, and like he said, the social currency, having a good name in the community, and then somebody being able to say, well, I want you to go to the Fifth Element. Well, who is that? That's so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. That's my guy. That's my man. That's the DJ from their radio station. That's OT from blah, blah. You know what I mean? And it just works out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Dog. Same.
That's the best. The best part of it is, like, you know, I love when people discover us. You know what I mean? When they don't know about us and then they discover us. And then once they discover us, they think we popped out of nowhere. But we've been in this Vegas scene for over 30 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all the people who they end up knowing, they be like, damn, you know OT, what the fuck? He just came out of nowhere. Nah, trust me, I've been around. Slim has definitely been around. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Half of, you know, the cats that's out right now, they OGs. I probably went to school with their ass. To be honest with you.
I feel like that social currency thing is like, a lot of people take that shit for granted. Yeah. Because that is the most important, I feel like. If you cannot get
his song and nobody heard that shit.
Bro.
Exactly. Nobody heard it. Yeah. And that shit is a smash. Yeah. And nobody heard it. And then, like you said, you know, that social currency, you get outside.
Right.
And the right one of y'all hear it.
Right.
And now
it's getting pushed.
Crazy. When you make this, you're like, bro, this shit 2-3 years old.
2-3 years old, right.
I promise you, I ain't saying that you know what I mean, that this song blew up off of me talking about it, but I promise you, when Sugar Shay came out with Rumors, I've been playing that song since he first dropped it. Now that motherfucker is one of the hottest joints anytime you see it.
Man, you know that shit. Now that shit been that shit.
I know
that shit go.
But I'm saying, but I'm like, I know I've been talking.
You put it in the ethos,
I've been
man.
talking about that motherfucker forever. So I like to think I ate it.
Right.
in people listening to it.
But we do that because
right.
when Driven came out,
when Driven 4 came out,
East God shit came out.
89110,
when that came.
we was pumping the shit out. We was like, yo, we was telling people all the time like it's 89110 album. It's crazy.
Right. Even on the show, we if I wasn't talking about TC shit,
exactly. Right.
See, having those relationships and shit like that, like, how does that feel? You know, coming into the media game and shit like that, to where it's not really. I mean, I feel like it's a leg up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all right, I've already built this relationship with these people. These people already know me. They feel comfortable with me. How do you feel about when you get those interviews and stuff like that? When you get to talk to these people and they're like, they giving you the shit instead of going anywhere else.
I mean, that's the best feeling in the world. I'm like, you feel like the gift that you've given them has been reciprocated. It's something that like, us giving you Fifth Element is us saying like, okay, you know what, we appreciate what you do. So I'm like, you don't want nothing from you. We ain't ask for no money. We just want to make sure that your name is getting pushed out there with this quality piece of work that you got out here. So when you come back to us and say, hey, I got an exclusive and I want to just talk to y'all first. To me, that's like, man, like, that's what's up. You know what I mean? That fills me up. That puts the battery in my back and each one of our back to keep going.
Hard work pays off.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, man, you keep going because you're like, damn, that's dope. So, it's only a matter of time till these people hit a level and then they say, you know what? My guys is going to get this first. You know what I mean? I'm on Empire Records or I'm on, QC or wherever I'm at. And now I'm big or whatever. When I hit Vegas, they getting this first. Because they was like, whoop, whoop, that's that social currency. That's like, yo, that's like, if you look at it like money, that's the dollar revolving in your circle before it goes anywhere else.
And that's a huge level of respect for y'all to have. So
yeah.
That's huge, man. I respect y'all, man. That's huge, bro.
Thank you.
Because I'm from here, bro, and it's like, I don't rap, but I know a lot of rappers.
Right.
And the main thing that all my homies say that rap, bro, it ain't no opportunity. It's nowhere to go. It's nobody listening to us. Right. I provide like that bridge between nobody will listen to this shit and no, this is the hottest shit around right now.
Right.
Like, if you're not listening to this, what the fuck are you listening to?
Right.
Like, that's what it was for me because like I'm new to y'all. Like, I'm a new fan of y'all work. You know what I'm saying? So like even with me like paying attention, I'm like, bro, certain people I'll even listen to. I'm like, I ain't listening to Vegas. I've been listening to this.
Right.
Oh shit, okay. And it's like for y'all to be in that space and for them to reciprocate that love to you says a lot, bro. That means that what you're doing is genuinely solid, bro.
Thank you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that, man. That's all we looking for. Like, yo, we can't be looking for nothing else. And it's funny because it comes from being in a position that they were in at one time. Me and him has done music out here forever. And, Ray has been out here, listening to all of our shit forever. So, you know what I mean? We was in a position to where there was no outlets. So now we like, man, if I would, it's like almost like a relationship saying like, okay, if I'm going to go into a relationship, I'm going to get a person everything that I wanted. You know what I mean? So they know like that this is what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like this is what Fifth Element is, giving the relationship of music what we wanted from it. Like somebody for us to give us a platform to rap, give us a platform to talk about our shit and make us feel like what you're doing is the right thing. You on a good track. You're not just wasting your time making music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and that's what we wanted. So we ain't have it, so we providing it. You know,
and as far as the scene go too, man, it's to the point now because we've been doing this for over a year. It's like there's almost a certain kind of guilt that comes with listening to music outside of the city. Like we've gotten to that point to where like if I'm just not in a mood to listen to something very specific, I feel bad when I'm not listening to what I know is the shit around Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's like you want to pull up Same way you pull up in the parking lot and you want to turn your music up so everybody hear you. But I want you to hear me bumping this Vegas shit so you see what it is. When we was in Detroit, we was bumping Landlord everywhere we went. You know what I'm saying? My brother in the Bronx, that's the first thing he asked me. He was like, "Yo, man, I want some of that Landlord."
But if you go to other places, that's their culture. You go to Texas, they're playing Texas artists. Like I pull up and it's like, yo, I know you into Wu-Tang, but nah, nigga, have you heard whoop the whoop whoop whoop? And I'm like, nah, I don't know about this nigga. But I'm like, yo, they put me on. Like even back in the day, I went to Texas when I was like about 12 years old, and they put me on the Ghetto Boys and Willie D. Yeah. And I hadn't ever even heard of Willie D. And they was like, yo, check this out. And I'm taking that back with me to Detroit.
Yo, I took brother Lynch to Detroit. My family was like, yo, what is this?
Exactly. So it's like when you go to certain places, they put you on to what they was having. Vegas is starting to create that culture of our own, where niggas come here and we like, yo, nigga, yeah, I know you into, NLE, but fuck that. Nigga, Landlord got some new shit. Nigga, check this shit go.
Bro, trust and believe. Do y'all have because last year I started doing playlists and I started grabbing everybody's music that I felt should have been highlighted. Do y'all got playlists and stuff like that y'all putting together?
Crazy playlists.
I got thousands.
but
for the people,
like for when I go out, like I'll make playlists all day, all week. I might not even have a gig for a month or so, but I know if I'm gonna have a gig, I need that Vegas playlist. And I got a playlist for when people are coming in the club. I know I could play the Cyreeks and the Tay Bands. I could play Tay Bands right next to Usher. I could play Tay Bands right next to Chris Brown. And I know you're not going to be able to tell. Only thing is, you might not know what it is.
Who it is, but you're going to be like...
the sound and the vibe has to be the same.
They're going to be like, oh, damn, this that new... No, who is this? Yeah, that's exactly what you want.
But that's why he's so important to the show, because he's a DJ.
Facts.
And he breaks records. Yo, that's what you want. You want a DJ saying, like, I can play this next to the Jay-Z's or the Chris Browns. You want a DJ saying that. Yeah. Once they say that, they like, okay, I can put this in the mix.
Yeah, I don't like it when I hear other DJs say it ain't no music for the club, or I can't play this, because now you can play it in the club. Yeah. Now you can definitely
there ain't no excuse.
Find songs to play.
For every lane and every avenue.
Yes,
dog. That you like you said earlier, like if you like chill,
if you like that
laid back shit, you know what I'm saying, like something for that. If you like turn up, like you said, club music is something for that. If you like, you know what I'm saying, something smooth, like bars, like whatever you like, it's something out there for you.
Vegas got it for sure.
Yeah, Vegas got it for sure.
That's what makes Vegas special, though. It's a melting pot. So all type of people are here.
So go one of my old playlists. 2 C's, Neighborhood 6, King Vay, Landlord, Bay Blue, BB Dollars, Taylor Weed, Spitter P, Tay Band, Storm Green, East God Selly, Icy Jones.
Ooh, that's Storm Green.
Malika Seal.
Shout out Storm, man. That's my
Dino, East God. Yeah. That's just a little,
I'm like, yo, my playlist is like all of my workout shit. I got everything on there. I'm like, yo, I'm working out to I told you I've been working out to rumors for 6 months from Sugar Shay. I definitely got East God on that mug. I'm like, yo, you'll hear LaRussell playing Out of the Bay, and then you'll hear East God come up. You know what I mean? Then you'll hear something come from somebody else, and then you'll hear a Goddess song come up or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm playing all these songs because I'm like, yo, to me, it's no difference.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, it's like, yeah, they not national level yet, but that don't mean they ain't making just as quality music.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? The music is just as quality, man. I'm like, it's to me, it's
P,
same level.
Lil J.O., TMBA, Brody, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
Cyreek, you know what I mean? Lost Elements, Sound Merchants, Larry Dub, like, you know what I mean?
There's so many cats out here, man. I was just bumping Miles Low new joint, the AFC North, man. That shit crazy. As soon as I heard it, I texted one of the lines out of there because it was just a crazy ass line.
And big shout out to my little guy Ty Herbo, man. That's my guy. Ty Herbo is crazy, man.
Ty Herbo is crazy.
See, with the music aspect of everything, like, I feel like you have to have when you're talking music, when you're talking hip hop and shit like that, like myself, right? I don't feel like I'm like a hip hop historian or anything like that. I don't feel like I just feel like I have a good ear. I know what good music sound like.
Right.
But I also have I have a DJ that's around me. I have Quick that's around me. You know what I'm saying? I have these guys that are well versed in these things to help me out with those. Like when it comes to outside of the music, like do you guys ever get into anything like anybody else outside of like music, or is it strictly just hip hop on Fifth Element?
No, we had
Chef Duke Stacy.
Chef Stacy Dugan on it.
Miles Felony is an author.
Yeah, Miles Felony, author.
We had James Naval. He has his own jiu-jitsu gym.
Yep.
So yeah, we touching.
We just had
Big Keith.
Yeah, Big
we
Keith.
just had Big Church, who was Snoop and Kanye and them bodyguard. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's crazy because I'm like, people I'm like the name hip hop. They like to feel like it's only one thing, but hip hop is involved in everything.
Right.
So it's like, man, name something that hip hop has not affected. So we can talk food and we can talk hip hop. We can talk, boxing and talk hip hop. We can talk whatever it is you want to talk about. You want to talk country music. We can talk country music and hip hop. You know what I mean? We can talk hip hop and everything that it is. So to me, I feel like there's no subject that can't be touched.
That's a fact.
Right. You know what I mean?
I feel like hip hop is in everything.
In hip hop as well. Like we was talking about before, a lot of us didn't know that it was behind it was behind the camera shit.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be in front of the camera. Now it's like, nah, man, you could
hold the motherfucker.
You could be the cameraman. You don't even need an expensive camera.
Set up the audio. Fucking do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody wants to be the chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be like, all right, because listen, myself, right? Yeah, I'm trying to build a network or whatever. But at the same time, I still have to understand there's a bigger program than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I still have to listen to what my guys are telling me. And it's not a egotistical thing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to you guys, like what is the growth pattern? What is the direction that y'all are going? What's the trajectory that y'all are looking at for 2023 and beyond?
Fifth Element is looking to be definitely national. Yeah. We're looking to break the ceiling of what they saying that anything can come out of Vegas is.
Right.
We want to be mentioned in the same breaths as the Drink Champs and the Sway in the Mornings and Breakfast Clubs and whoever else. We want to be mentioned in the same breath. You know what I mean? We want like Fifth Element is in gear to be part of your West Coast media run. So when you come out to the West Coast and you say like, okay, I'm an artist that dropped in New York and we start making our run to let everybody know who he is and our music, whatever, you start heading this direction. You be like, okay, we got to do a show in Vegas. We got to stop in the Fifth Element, do an interview. Exactly. We going to Dre's to perform, hit Fifth Element, do an interview, go to LA, hit Big Boy and LA Leakers or whatever. Right. We want that to be a part of the run. You know what I mean? So like, if we feel like we got a big enough platform or big enough presence as a platform right now to be able to accommodate that. And then as far as when we expand, and our fan base grows and everything else, we feel like we'll be one of those platforms.
But